Hey, what's up, everybody? Once again, I have to get my water. Once again, my name is DJ, doing what I do on a Monday, sitting back here, chilling. And actually, it's not Monday, it's Friday. All right, telling y'all what day it is on this video. It's Friday, and I wanted to make sure I, at least get y'all a video, to take with you for the weekend. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to hit y'all up on the weekend or not, but want to make sure I give you a little bit of information. So today, a couple of people had asked me to go over this topic. I think my man Joe out in Wisconsin, Krav Maga out there, Fortitude. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. My man Eric, one of my students, and I think this is what y'all asked me about. If it's not, don't worry, I got you covered. I'll cover this on another video. I'll cover what y'all want me to cover on another video, but I think this is what y'all asked me about, and a couple of people was asking me about this as well. And the question was how to spar in Krav Maga. How to spar in Krav Maga, or should I say how to spar using Krav Maga. So how it came up is, I don't know, what every other video I talk about how you have to be able to spar. You have to spar in order to really know how to do something. You got to pressure test it. You got to spar. You got to get in there in the trenches and go at it. And I did another video, which I'll put on the end of this video, called the four stages of sparring. Okay, 4 stages of sparring. We're not going to spend no time with that. Y'all check out the video. And while y'all check out the video, you already know what I'm about to say. Subscribe to my channel. Want to say thank you, though, because I did get over my 700 subscribers. So I got 3 more subscribers for the last one. All right, so let's see if we can get to 703. 703. I only try to get 3 subscribers, man. Every video I put out, I'll get 2 extra subscribers. It's crazy. Anyway, all right, let's get back to business, man. How to spar. All right, so let's first. The type of sparring that I refer to when I am talking about in my videos, I'm talking about your normal sparring, your boxing, where we spar in boxing, where you spar in mixed martial arts, where you spar in ground, any combat sport, the way you spar using those different, avenues or whatever. Okay, that's what I'm talking about most of the time when I'm talking about sparring. Pretty much all the time when I'm talking about sparring, okay? Actual Krav Maga sparring is different. Not even just Krav Maga, actual self-defense. When you're talking about self-defense sparring, it's different. It's different, okay? As a matter of fact, not only is it different, truth be told, you can't actually spar using Krav Maga or actual self-defense, self-protection, using the strikes of Krav Maga or the strikes of self-defense and self-protection. You actually can't spar using those techniques, okay? Now, that's because what's sparring? Sparring is practicing on an actual resisting partner. Okay, sparring is practicing on a resisting partner. Now, there's levels to how much they're resisting, which I went over on my last video. The video, y'all check it out. 4 stages of sparring. There's levels to how much they are resisting. Maybe they're letting you do it, they're blocking, maybe they're fighting you back. There's levels to it, all right? Levels to this shit, all right? There's levels to how much they're resisting, but sparring is practicing on a resisting partner. Now, you can't resist certain things. Like, for example, somebody pokes you in your eye. You can't resist somebody poking into your eye. You already know what's going to happen. If they poke you light in the eye, if they poke you hard in the eye, it's still the same. You got poked in the eye, okay? You can't resist somebody like, taking their foot and trying to stomp through your knee, right? Whether it's light or whether it's hard, it's still, you don't want to practice that. That would be stupid. Okay, you can't if somebody is gouging your neck. I mean, I can tighten my neck up, right? You know, I'm practicing so much that I can tighten my neck up, but not to a certain extent. You know, so especially if I don't know what's coming, and then I wouldn't tighten it up at all. So somebody going eyes, throat, who the hell wants to practice on getting kicked in the groin all day? So you can't actually spar using self-defense, self-protection, techniques, okay? The reason why I talk about sparring so much is because in order to use those techniques, proficiently, you got to learn how to spar the other way, okay? Because sparring teaches you a whole bunch of things that you need to know in an unarmed combat situation. One of the things you got to know is distance. Distance. You need to know how close you need to be in order to pull certain moves off, okay? You need to know timing, okay? You need to know when to do these things, okay? If you don't have timing and you don't have distance, then I don't care what you're trying to do. I don't care if you're trying to eye gouge somebody, throat strike somebody, knee stomp somebody, groin kick somebody. I don't care what you're doing. If you don't have that timing and distance down, then it's all irrelevant. My instructor, Master Gerald Dawson, may he rest in peace, always talked about timing and distance. You got to know timing and distance, okay? And you also have to know what it feels like to have somebody, A, resist, okay, and B, move. Okay, so if you're doing like a Krav Maga, technique, somebody choking you and you plucking, right? And you plucking, you striking, boom, 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 and they're not moving, then that's not realistic. Okay, it's not. You need to know what's going to happen when they're moving. Okay, timing, distance, and a moving person, because people are going to be moving if you're actually fighting. Okay, so you actually can't spar. What you can do is train. Now, you do have to spar, but you spar, you're going to use the boxing and the MMA, your ground and stuff like that. The way you train in self-defense, right, I always give three. I always give three. But with this one, I can't even give three. I'm only going to give two. I think in my last video I gave two. I got to get my head right. I'm only going to give two. There's only two ways that you can actually train, for real. And I say, quote, for real, when you're using self-defense, self-protection techniques, okay? And now the first way is suit up, all right? Suit up, all right? And when I say suit up, I'm not talking about regular boxing, MMA headgear, boxing gloves, and shin guards. I ain't talking about that. You got to suit up. They have, a lot of people sell the training gear, right? They got the helmet. Tony Brewer has one. I hope I'm saying his name right. It's not my day. They got a couple of different ones. Y'all can look them up. But they got the helmet, and this helmet you can really, knock it around and stuff like that. Really, really durable. They got a neck thing you put around your neck so you can strike to the neck. It's a whole body armor joint. They got the gloves. They got the pants, and you can actually move around in it too. They come in small, medium, and large, and you can actually move around in it. Now, you can't move around in it as well as you can, without it, but pretty damn close. You're probably about 70, 75%, which is good. Now, the helmet that they have fogs up. So you only going to get probably about 15, 20, 30 seconds at the most before you got to take it off because it fogs up, so you can emulate a 15 to 30 second, encounter, which is pretty much a self-defense, self-protection thing anyway. So that's the first way. Here's the problem, the pro and the con to that. The pro is you can actually do some strikes. Now, you still can't go 100%, but You can go, like I said, 60, 70%. You can kick to the groin. You can strike to the throat. You can eye gouge. You can ears. And you can actually, you can't really mess with the knees too much. That's a little too dangerous. But you can actually do the self-defense stuff. We had a couple of suits in my old school, and we used to put it in and get it in. And it was some really intense. It was some really intense training, okay? But here's the negative. Them motherfucking suits are expensive. I ain't talking about the Michelin Man joints when they used to have the women's self-defense and he come out looking like the damn Marshmallow Man, and the girls could be knee, eyes growing. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about an actual tactical, suit that you can wear. I think the joints be like, they might be a G for each one. I'm talking about 1,000, right? It might be 1,000 or more. I even looked on, not Amazon. Sometimes people used to sell theirs because they had them for a while. They don't use them no more, and people used to sell them. I don't know if you can find them no more, but they're expensive. Even like a used one, people was selling them for like $300 or $400. For the whole suit, and they old because they're expensive. Most people, look, how you gonna get like 5 or 6 suits for a school, But if you got the money, and it's like maybe you and a couple of instructors, and all of y'all around the same size, and you order like 3 or 4 larges, and you got the money, you can really get some good training in. Okay, I used to say I was going to buy one. You can't just buy one. You got to buy at least 2 in order to train, because it don't make sense for just one person to have it on. So because it's not like you're a test dummy. You fighting back. You got to be fighting back. Remember, sparring is a resisting opponent, so you got to have at least 2. It's a big investment. So most people don't go that route. So the second way to do self-defense, self-protection training, like we do at Krav Maga, is I call it, you got to go Hollywood. Now, this is where Krav Maga and, I'm going to use Krav Maga, gets one of the things where it gets its bad rep. Because people watch us train on our videos, and I'll put my videos out, and people be saying stuff like I had some idiot, comment on me doing the long gun joint, and if he watching, it was, I don't mind bad comments too, but, I'm going to tell you the truth. He said, I was doing the long gun joint, and his comment was the guy actually resisting? Of course he wasn't really resisting. I was kicking him in the groin and hitting him with the head anyway, look, you got to go what I call Hollywood. You got to do some acting. In other words, you have to, when somebody is training, you have to react the way you think that you would if somebody were to do whatever it is he's doing to you. So for example, if I'm training with somebody and I kick him in the groin, right? I don't kick him in the groin, because who the hell wants to be kicked in the damn groin when you're training? All right? I pretend like I kicked him in the groin, and he has to react the way he think that he would react if he got kicked in the groin. Okay? If I'm doing a technique and I eye gouge him, I don't really eye gouge him, because why would I want to eye gouge my training partner? Okay? But he has to react in a way where he thinks that, he would have reacted if he got eye gouged. And the same for everything. Okay? Whether it's a knee stomp, an eye gouge, hell, a jab and a cross. He's got to react the way he would if he thinks you would have landed the jab or cross. Okay? It's Hollywood. You gotta go Hollywood. And people see these online, and like, oh, that's fake. They was faking. Of course they was faking, okay? Because they didn't want to actually do the technique. Okay. Here's where it goes bad. All right. Well, before I talk about where it goes bad, I told the pro before I talk about the bad. The pro to training like that, right? If you do it properly, right? And the person is a good actor, right? You get to see how a person will actually react to what you're doing. I'm an expert at it. All right, I am. And I should look. Hey, one of these, Hollywood producers should call me. I know I can. Hey, I can act my ass off, right, when I'm doing it, because I don't flop. Okay, and I get to that in a second. But I can really act like somebody is doing it, and I said, no, this is how I would react it. I done had people do stuff to me, and they'd be like, bang, 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 and then I'd be still coming, and they'd be like, well, but I hit you. I'd be like, so you hit me? That don't mean I'm a drop. You didn't. It wasn't convincing. Your punch wasn't convincing enough to me, where I thought if I got hit by that punch, I would have failed. So I didn't react, So now when you do something where I think would have stopped me, then I will stop coming. Other than that, I'm going to pressure you, okay? So, and also if you do it right, you can work on your distance, because you know how close you can actually pass through. You can, and here we know if somebody grabs my right arm and he's throwing his cross, I know he's going to punch past my right face. That's where we train. You have to practice training so that you kind of know what your partner's going to do and you can react to it. It's really, just like acting. Just like when you act, you're just not able to act you got to go to training for that. You got to learn how to act, okay? That's the pro part, that you kind of, learn what they're going to do. Here's the negative part. Most people can't act. That's the problem. Most people can't act. So what happens is, instead of acting properly, they do what we call in basketball a flop. They flop. One of the perfect examples of a flop, and I'm just going to talk to my Krav Maga people, right? Particularly my Krav Maga Worldwide, my Krav Maga, all Krav Maga people do this technique. But when we teach side headlock, and Worldwide we have it in level 1. Somebody get you on the side headlock and you go down, right? And you base with your foot, you strike the groin, you look for the pressure point of the nose, and you bring it down. Most time people do that, you know what the opponent does? They just fall to the fucking floor. Every time. I can't stand it. They just fall to the floor. You wouldn't fall to the floor just because somebody put their hand under your nose. Well, now you probably run because of COVID. But in real time, you wouldn't fall to the floor. They just flop, okay? So most people, you do these techniques and the people just fall on the floor, and it comes off super unrealistic, okay? If y'all watch my videos, I'm not putting a live video out. I call it live, me doing a technique this week, but when you watch them, sometimes, the CDK Bandit, sometimes he's really good. Sometimes he's not. Sometimes he fall early, and I'd be like, man, you failed too early. You gotta be a better. You gotta go to Hollywood a little better. So it's hard. It's hard to go Hollywood and find a person who knows how to act. So, but my solution is start slow. I got 2 solutions, all right? No, I don't have 2 solutions. I just came up with a third method of training Krav Maga. But and I didn't come up with it. I'm gonna tell you what it is because it's sitting right here on my desk. I'll tell you in a second. But you got to practice your acting skills, guys. All right. Don't overact. Don't underact. Okay. You have to practice. What would you do if this happened? What would you do if that happened? Now, here comes when the actual sparring is good, because I've had a lot of students says, well, they can't act like that because they don't know, they've never been hit before, so they don't know how they will react. And that's when the sparring comes in, and you find out what you would do if somebody actually hit you in the face, and then you kind of react to how what somebody would do if you got eye gouge. You can imagine it better, but it is hard doing. So here's the third way. I thought I was gonna have 2, and I don't know why I sit right here in front of me because I always refer back to my reading. Okay, there's a book. If you are training Krav Maga, if you're training self-defense, self-protection, there's a book, and I think it's an excellent book. I think all y'all should get it. It's called, this is a book right here, Training for Sudden Violence. Training for Sudden Violence by Roy Miller. Now, this has 72 practical drills. All 72 of them ain't good drills, but hell, if you can find 20 good drills, you know, then it's worth. But it's worth reading. And some of these drills, he got some drills in here. He's a prison guard, but some of the drills that he has in here it's extremely good. It's funny though. If you look at this, right? Y'all look at this. The outfit that he have on is the same one I was talking about. He's suited up. If you see the helmet, that's the tactical gear that I'm talking about. And it's probably, yep, it's the same gear that I'm talking about, and he's using that to train with. So perfect example of what I mean, okay? But he has some good drills in there. So that's the third way. Pick up that book, Joel. You know, you and your students, Training for Sudden Violence, man. It's a really good book. 72 practical drills. You know, and I don't get nothing out of that book. I don't get nothing from promoting the book. I just kind of spread the knowledge, all right? But however you're going to train, guys, whatever you're going to do, I want y'all to do it to the best of your ability, all right? Y'all make sure y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see y'all on Monday, all right? Peace. I'm out. Oh! Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I need 3 more. Let me get to 703. I might already be at 703. I need to get to 703 before this video over. And if you really like me, let me get to 1,000 before the weekend's over, all right? No, that ain't going to happen, but y'all know how it is. Peace. I'm out.